Imagine this: Shedeur Sanders, one of the most talked about young quarterbacks in football, teaming up with Tom Brady's Las Vegas Raiders. It sounds like the kind of blockbuster move that could light up the NFL, but not everyone is buying the dream. In fact, Emmanuel Acho has stepped forward to slam the door on that fantasy, and his reason might just surprise you. Acho, the former NFL linebacker turned outspoken sports analyst, didn't just disagree with the idea of Sanders heading to Las Vegas, he outright dismissed it. In a recent segment, he made it clear that sending the 23-year-old rookie from the Cleveland Browns to the Raiders would be a complete disaster. His argument? The Raiders' offense is a mess, their roster is unstable, and the young quarterback would be walking straight into failure. This all started when NBA star Damian Lillard added fuel to the fire, publicly advocating for the Raiders to go after Shedeur Sanders. Lillard's statement immediately went viral, sparking massive debates online and putting pressure on Geno Smith, the team's struggling quarterback at Allegiant Stadium. The hype began to grow, and that's when Acho stepped in with some hard truth. According to Acho, this move doesn't make sense for anyone involved. He reminded everyone that Sanders was just promoted to QB2 on the Browns' depth chart after Joe Flacco was traded to the Cincinnati Bengals. Rookie Dillon Gabriel has taken over the starting role in Cleveland, which leaves Shedeur as the primary backup, just one step away from leading an NFL offense. Fans and analysts across the country have been begging to see Sanders in action. His run with the Colorado Buffaloes in college turned him into a national sensation, and his poise, accuracy, and leadership have left people convinced he's ready for the big stage. But Acho believes pushing him into Las Vegas right now would be a colossal mistake. He didn't mince words either. Calling the idea nonsense, Acho said the Raiders' chaos would only hurt Sanders' growth. The Raiders had the Browns quarterback they wanted, and they picked Pickett, Acho pointed out. Tom Brady had a chance to draft Shedeur, and he didn't. He had a chance to trade for him, and he didn't. This is nonsense. Then came the knockout line. You want to put Shedeur behind that poor offensive line with a depleted roster and a young Ashton Jeanty and expect him to do what? Y'all trying to set Shedeur up for failure. It was classic Acho. Passionate, sharp, and brutally honest, and honestly, he's not wrong. The Raiders are in a rough spot. Their offensive line has been leaky, their protection inconsistent, and their overall rhythm non-existent. Geno Smith, who was brought in from the Seattle Seahawks during the offseason, has had an absolutely brutal start. After 5 weeks, the Raiders are sitting at 1-4, and Smith leads the entire NFL in interceptions. Just think about that. 9 interceptions in 5 games. That's tied for the second most by a Raiders quarterback in his first 5 outings since way back in 1970. The last to do that were Josh McCown in 2007 and Kerry Collins in 2004. Smith's latest outing included 2 more interceptions and a 40-6 blowout loss against the Indianapolis Colts. Those mistakes led directly to 14 points for the opposition. And here's the kicker: Smith's contract is massive. He's on a 2-year, $75 million deal with $40 million guaranteed this season alone. That's a huge paycheck for someone whose turnovers are literally handing opponents the win. Sure, the Raiders could cut ties with him in 2026 to save cap space, but that move would still hit them with $18.5 million in dead money. So yeah, it's no wonder fans are dreaming about Shedeur Sanders coming in as the savior. Acho's point is that you can't throw a young quarterback, no matter how talented, into a crumbling situation and expect him to thrive. The Raiders are far from stable, and if Sanders were to land there now, he'd be walking straight into chaos. Acho wants to see him develop in the right environment, not be sacrificed in the wrong one. And honestly, that perspective might be the most realistic one out there. Everyone loves a fairy tale, the young prodigy teaming up with Tom Brady's franchise to rescue a failing team. But the NFL doesn't run on fairy tales. It runs on systems, structure, and support. And right now, the Raiders don't seem to have much of any of that. So as the debate rages on, Emmanuel Acho's words hang in the air, a reality check for fans dreaming too big too soon. Maybe Shedeur Sanders' time will come, but maybe it shouldn't come in Las Vegas. What do you think? Should Shedeur Sanders take the leap and join Tom Brady's Raiders despite the risk? Or is Emmanuel Acho right to say it's a setup for failure? Drop your thoughts in the comments.